Alright, this is Ed Roman, and I'm doing some basic Sasquatch investigation about something that I'd seen. And it may be too late now, but about 3 weeks ago in the back 50 acres of my property here in Melancthon. We're going to go out today and see if we can find anything, whether scat or if there's any prints left. The story as it unfolds will be told through the video gathering of this sort of little event here. So we're just about to head out in the field, and this is where the investigation starts. So as it were, about 3 weeks ago, I was in the garden, which is just over there, and I'd heard the coyotes going crazy at about 6:30 in the afternoon. The field hadn't yet been cut, in the process of being cut and baled. And I came up to the crest line after putting the dog in the house to investigate as to what was going on. And just down in the corner part of that field, where the two tree lines sort of meet in a nice corner, just past Kim there, who's in the foreground, where you can see there's a grouping of a lot of bales at the far end of the field, the farthest end. There's a tall stand of something there that's green, that's growing. It's like a tall bush, probably like a thistle or burdock or something like that. There was a tall figure that I saw standing there, and I think it was disturbing the coyotes because they were going crazy. At 7.5 feet, maybe 6.5, 7 feet tall, hard to say because of the distance, but much taller than what that burdock is at this distance. So we're going to walk down there and try to find out what it was. It had settled down into the tall grass, and I lost sight of it there, and then it came bolting out on all fours like a quadruped about 50 meters at an alarming speed from that point that I'm talking about. Stood up on 2 feet, then proceeded to walk the entire field line, where I lost it inside that tree line that's on the property tree line and the corner of that other bush. So we're going to walk down there right now and try to find out if there's anything there. Okay, so we're down here, sorry my thumb, at the location. This is what I thought was the burdock up at the top of the hill. It's actually a small little cedar, self-seeded itself here in the lower pasture. This is something that they don't usually cut here, just because there's so many ant hills and it's wet, and don't usually plant in this zone. So this is the cut area that it had to have run out into as like I said, a quadruped. It was around this area, and I don't see anything because we're already weeks away from the incident, where I saw it must have laid down, or even behind this actual outcropping of bushing here of wild raspberries and a bunch of other things. Some matted down spots in some locations, but that could be anything from deer to you name it. But this is pretty much where it was, and it may have laid down somewhere in this area, and I'm not entirely sure. The grass here is sort of a different color, green. Something has been frequenting probably this spot often and lying in this zone. And then, as I said, there seems to be a trail, a light trail here, either a game or somebody on foot or something on foot, that has come through this area here. And you can see the channel or the path through here. And as I said, as it stood up from that point, it came bolting out of here like a quadruped, like a bear, at an alarming speed. So it came through that spot here and bolted out. Now, I don't see any prints or heavy indentations through this area, and like I said, mind you, it's been weeks since the incident, so I thought it couldn't hurt coming out here to try to actually go and check it out. Its distance from after it had bolted out, it came almost directly towards me up the hill. I'd say it had come about this far on a straight out angle, about that distance from where Kim is right now, and it had to have been much taller than Kim, at least another 2 feet taller than Kim, as it had gotten down on all fours and ran out. When it got to this point, this is when it had stood up, and I was standing up there. You could see the peak of the chimney of the barn where the kiln is, past that bale. It then proceeded to walk that way towards the corner of the field, and that's where I lost sight of it. So we're going to go back to that little patch and see if we can see any hair or anything in that zone and check it out.